You know that heavy sinking feeling in your stomach when you're sitting in a group and you actually have something really good to say.
Oh, yeah, like a physical weight.
Right. But instead of just opening your mouth and saying it, you start, well, overthinking every single word.
You're just waiting for the absolute perfect pause in the conversation.
Exactly. And your heart starts pounding, your throat feels tight, and suddenly the moment just passes.
Ah.
The topic changes.
And you just sit there.
Yeah, you sit there feeling small, feeling totally invisible around all these loud, confident people.
Hmm.
And the absolute worst part is walking away later with that heavy, exhausting regret.
The regret of knowing you had a voice, but you just, couldn't bring yourself to use it. It is such a painful, isolating feeling.
Hey listeners, welcome to English Made Simple. Hi, I'm Ron.
Hi, and I'm Emily.
So today's Deep Dives is designed specifically for you. If you have ever felt quiet, underconfident, or, overlooked, our mission today is to help you completely transform how you show up.
We want to help you build this unshakable, quiet confidence in social situations, in class, at work, just everywhere.
Because here's the secret. Confidence is not some magical genetic gift. You aren't just born with it or without it.
Exactly. I think a lot of people assume confidence is just a switch that flips in your brain one day.
Right. And I used to think of it like a muscle you train. But honestly, a better way to look at it is like carving a new path through a really dense forest.
Oh, I like that analogy.
Yeah, the first time you walk, like the first time you actually speak up or hold eye contact, it is full of branches. It takes immense effort to push through.
But your brain's neural pathways literally clear the brush every time you take that route.
Exactly. Eventually, speaking up isn't a struggle anymore. It just becomes a paved highway.
That is a phenomenal way to look at it, because before we can start carving that new confident path, we have to look at the roadblocks.
The ones we keep throwing in front of ourselves.
Right. We often destroy our own confidence from the inside, before we even enter a room.
So why do quiet people do that? Like, why do we make ourselves invisible?
Well, it usually starts because we care profoundly about what other people think.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Running those worst-case scenario simulations in our heads.
Yeah, assuming everyone is judging us or just waiting for us to sound foolish. And that hyper-awareness leads to some incredibly damaging habits.
Like what?
One of the biggest ones is setting the bar low for yourself. It's called verbal disqualification.
Wait, is that like when you warn people you're going to be bad at something?
Yes. Like before you even try, you say, I'm probably going to be terrible at this, so don't expect much. Or, for our listeners, maybe saying, my English isn't very good, so forgive me.
Oh, man. I used to do that all the time. To me, it felt like a really smart defense mechanism.
Expectation management, right?
Exactly. If I tell you I'm bad at it, then you won't be disappointed when I, inevitably mess up.
It feels protective, but psychologically you are doing something quite destructive. You are actively telling your own brain and everyone around you that your value is low.
You're basically giving people permission to dismiss you.
Right before you've even started. Another habit that completely destroys our internal foundation is ruminating.
Ah, the classic shower argument.
Yes. This is when you make a tiny mistake. Maybe you mispronounce a word or say something a little awkward and you just obsess over it for 5 days.
Replaying that one tiny memory in the shower over and over again. Why do our brains torture us like that?
It actually comes down to an outdated evolutionary survival mechanism.
Really? Like
It is a
caveman
pleasure
stuff.
to meet you. Thank you for taking the time to speak with me today. Our brains have a built-in negativity bias. Hundreds of thousands of years ago, paying hyper attention to negative things kept us alive.
Like the rustle of a dangerous animal in the bushes.
Exactly. But today, you aren't running from a tiger. You're at a networking event.
But the brain reacts the same way.
Yeah, that same primitive chemistry fires up, making you obsess over a slightly awkward handshake as if it were a life or death threat. It paralyzes you.
So we are basically running caveman software to navigate modern social events. That makes perfect sense.
It does. And it explains another habit that completely drains our confidence: how we handle compliments.
I always thought deflecting compliments was just me being polite.
A lot of people think that.
Yeah, like if someone says great presentation and I say, oh, the team did the real work, I just talked. I thought I was showing humility. Is that actually bad?
It is backfiring massively. When you reject a compliment, you aren't just putting yourself down.
What else am I doing?
You are actually telling the person who complimented you that their judgment is flawed.
Oh, wow. I never thought about it like that.
Think about it. They are offering you a verbal gift, and you are throwing it back in their face saying, nope, your opinion is wrong.
You're actually challenging their judgment. Let's do a quick role play to show what this looks like. Let's say we are at a party, and I walk up to you.
Okay, ready.
Wow, your English has gotten so good. You sounded fantastic today.
Oh, no, not really. I still make so many grammar mistakes. And honestly, I was so nervous I forgot half the words I wanted to say.
Okay, let's pause there. That happens all the time.
All the time.
And it instantly makes the interaction awkward. Like, I try to make you feel good, and now I feel like I have to convince you that you don't sound terrible.
Exactly. It drains the energy right out of the room.
So, for our listeners practicing their English, I want you to steal a better habit right now. The next time someone gives you a compliment, do not make excuses.
Just accept the gift.
Yes. We're going to give you 2 phrases to practice. I'll say them, and you can repeat them wherever you are listening. Say it with me so you can feel the pacing. Ready? The first one is, thank you, I really appreciate that.
Let's do that one together again, keeping the tone warm and steady. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
It's so simple. And here's the second phrase. For when you put real effort into something, like a project or a meal. Thank you, I worked hard on it.
Once more, claiming your effort. Thank you. I worked hard on it.
Accepting a compliment graciously does not make you arrogant.
Not at all. It simply shows that you value yourself and you respect the other person's opinion.
It's amazing how rewiring those small conversational habits changes your brain chemistry. But stopping the self-sabotage is only half the battle, right?
Definitely.
How do we actually build the foundation of internal confidence? Because it's not just a warm, fuzzy feeling that magically arrives.
No, it absolutely requires action. And the core mechanism of that action is a fascinating concept called the say-do ratio.
The say-do ratio.
Yeah, your say-do ratio is simply the number of promises you keep to yourself divided by the number of promises you make to yourself.
Wait, let's unpack this. Are you telling me that if I tell myself I'm going to set my alarm for 6 a.m. and I actually wake up when the alarm goes off instead of hitting snooze, that somehow makes me more confident in a conversation later that afternoon?
It really does.
How does a snooze button relate to social anxiety?
It relates entirely to internal trust. Your subconscious mind is like a permanent ledger. It tracks everything.
It's keeping score.
Exactly. Every time you tell yourself you are going to do something like wake up early or study English for 20 minutes and you don't do it, you log a micro failure.
Ouch.
You are teaching your brain that your word means nothing. But when you actually do the thing you promised, you make a deposit into your internal trust account.
So if I hit snooze, I'm starting my day by lying to myself.
Exactly. And if you lie to yourself all day, you will feel profoundly insecure around other people because you don't even trust your own foundation.
Wow, that makes so much sense.
When your say-do ratio is high, you trust yourself implicitly. And when you trust yourself, you stop desperately needing external validation.
You stop scanning the room to see if people approve of you.
Right, because you already approve of yourself.
That is brilliant. It means you don't have to wait for someone to praise you or give you a big promotion to feel confident. You build it quietly, in private.
By celebrating those small internal wins, evidence beats motivation every single time.
Are there other ways to gather that evidence?
Yes, actively practicing gratitude, taking just a few minutes every morning to find 3 specific things you are grateful for.
I feel like people say that a lot, but does it actually work?
It does. It isn't just a fluffy idea. It literally rewires a part of your brain called the reticular activating system.
The what now?
The reticular activating system. It shifts your baseline emotional state from scarcity, where you constantly scan for what could go wrong, to abundance, where you notice what is already going well.
I love the idea of shifting the baseline. And speaking of that, there is another psychological tool that helps build internal trust right before a stressful situation.
Oh, yes. The silent sentence.
Right. Say you're about to walk into a job interview or speak up in class.
This is such a powerful technique. Usually right before a stressful event, our internal voice is panicking.
It's screaming, "Don't mess up, everyone is judging you, your accent is too strong."
Exactly. And trying to tell yourself, don't be nervous, never works.
No, it just makes you focus on the nerves.
Because the brain doesn't process negatives well. If I say, don't think of a pink elephant, what do?
I immediately picture a pink elephant.
Right. So instead of fighting the panic, you replace it with a prepared, intentional script. A silent sentence that connects you to a deeper purpose.
Let's give our listeners a practical silent sentence they can use the next time they feel that social anxiety rising. We will say it slowly. You can say it silently in your mind or out loud if you're alone. Here it is. I am here to help, and I have value to share.
Let's really feel the meaning of those words together. I am here to help, and I have value to share.
It really shifts the focus, doesn't it?
Completely. When you shift from performing for approval to simply contributing something helpful, the fear starts to melt away. You're just a person offering a perspective.
If you're enjoying this, subscribe to our channel for more English listening practice.
So we have explored the internal monologue. We understand the Sato ratio and keeping promises. But what's fascinating is that your brain isn't just listening to your thoughts. It's also actively taking orders from how you project yourself outward.
So, how we broadcast that internal trust through our voice.
Yes. Let's talk about that.
Let's look at this through a real-world scenario. Imagine you are getting on a boat for a long trip with your family.
Okay, I'm picturing it.
You're ready to go. And the captain comes out to greet the passengers. I'll act out the first captain. Hi. So I'll be your captain today. Sorry about the weather. Hopefully we'll have a good trip. Just sorry about the delay.
Oh no, if I hear that, my nervous system immediately spikes. I want to get off that boat.
Right.
That nervous, frantic energy broadcasts anxiety. It triggers our mirror neurons, which makes everyone else feel panicked too.
Now imagine the second captain walks out. Shoulders back, clear, steady voice. Hi, I will be your captain for this journey. We have a clear route planned. Let's have a great trip.
The difference is night and day. I feel instantly safe.
But here's the profound secret about confidence. That second captain might actually be just as nervous internally as the first one.
That is so true. They might be terrified of the weather.
But they are making confident vocal choices anyway.
Precisely. You are the captain of your own conversations. You do not need to feel completely fearless to make those same vocal choices.
So what's the first actionable tip for our voice?
Turn up your energy, but only slightly. Quiet people often make the mistake of thinking that being confident means being loud and aggressive.
Dominating the room.
Yeah, and it absolutely doesn't.
Right. If you think of your volume and energy on a scale from 1 to 10, you don't need to be a 10. A 10 is frantic.
A 10 is desperate for attention. You just need to aim for a solid 5.
A 5 feels very doable.
A 5 is perfect. It is grounded. A 5 sounds prepared, positive, and present. It says, I belong here, without having to shout.
What is the second vocal choice we can make?
Pause like a boss.
Oh, I struggle with this. When we are nervous, especially when speaking a second language like English, we tend to talk incredibly fast.
We rush because subconsciously we feel like we are borrowing time that we don't deserve.
Yes. We think if we don't hurry up, people will get bored and stop listening. And when we do inevitably need a second to think, we fill the silence with panic. Sounds like, and like.
The evolutionary psychology of silence is fascinating. Silence in a conversation creates tension.
And most people are terrified of that tension.
Exactly, so they rush to fill it with nervous chatter. But confident people don't rush. They pause intentionally.
That's like a superpower.
It really is. When you can hold silence in a conversation without flinching, you shift the entire power dynamic. Silence shows that you are profoundly comfortable in your own skin.
So let's practice this for real-world English conversations.
Yeah.
Sometimes someone asks you a question and your mind just goes blank.
It happens to everyone.
You just need a second to translate or formulate your thoughts. Instead of panicking and saying, you can use a confident filler phrase to own the silence.
Here are 2 fantastic phrases you can use to gracefully buy yourself time. Try repeating this along with us. That's a great question. Let me think about that for a second.
Let's try that again, nice and smooth. Imagine planting your feet and owning the moment. That's a great question. Let me think about that for a second.
And here's the second one, which is incredibly effective for a business meeting or university classroom. I have a thought on this.
Once more, steady and clear. I have a thought on this. Notice how taking your time and clearly stating your intent actually makes you sound far more intelligent and in control.
Much better than if you just started rambling.
So your voice is an incredibly powerful tool. But there is one final massive piece to this puzzle.
The body.
Yes. We've talked about the mind and the voice.
Yeah.
Now we have to talk about the body, because your physical posture actually dictates the chemicals your brain releases.
This is the mind-body feedback loop, and it blows my mind every time I think about it.
If you are sitting down right now listening to this, pay attention to your posture. Are you slouched over, looking down at your phone with your shoulders rolled forward?
If you are physically compressing your lungs. You are literally getting less oxygen to your brain.
But more importantly, you are mimicking the fetal position.
You are curling inward to protect your vital organs. And when you sit like that, Your body sends a signal up your vagus nerve to your brain that says, we must be under threat. We are hiding from a predator.
And your brain responds by pumping out stress hormones like cortisol.
It creates a physical sensation of anxiety, even if nothing is actually wrong.
So you put your body into a defensive, scared position, and your brain just matches the vibe.
Exactly. But the beautiful thing is you can reverse engineer this entire system.
You can force your brain to feel confident simply by making the physical shape of a confident person.
Yes. This is the superhero stance. Try it right now. Sit upright, pull your shoulders back and down.
Plant your feet firmly on the floor, a little wider apart.
Lift your chin. Expanding your chest tells your nervous system that the coast is clear. It signals that you are safe, exposed, and in control.
And then your cortisol levels drop.
Right, and your body actually begins to produce testosterone, which is linked to assertiveness and confidence.
Now, I have to push back here because I know exactly what some of our listeners are thinking. I've thought this too.
What's that?
If I sit like a superhero with my chest out, if I speak slowly and take up space, won't people think I'm arrogant? I don't want to be that obnoxious person in the room that everyone secretly dislikes.
That is such a common fear, especially for naturally quiet, empathetic people. We confuse the two.
Arrogance and confidence.
Yeah, but we need to look deeply at the difference because arrogance and true confidence are completely opposite psychological states.
How so?
Arrogance is a brittle mask for deep insecurity. An arrogant person has an inflated ego that is totally disconnected from reality.
They refuse to take feedback. They talk over other people.
Exactly. And they are secretly terrified of being proven wrong because their entire self-worth will shatter.
Right. Arrogance requires putting other people down to feel tall. But true confidence.
True confidence is simply an accurate self-assessment. You know what you are good at, and you freely and comfortably acknowledge what you don't know.
Confident people stay open to learning.
Always, a confident person can say, you know what, I was completely wrong about that, and their identity doesn't collapse.
You can be the quietest person in the room, say almost nothing, and still have an incredibly commanding presence.
In fact, true. Quiet confidence can actually make other people a little nervous, but in a completely different, highly respectable way.
What do you mean?
Think about it. When you encounter someone who doesn't rush to speak, who holds comfortable eye contact, who doesn't use nervous laughter to fill every silence, it can feel a little unsettling at first.
It's unsettling because it is so rare to see. Most people spend their entire lives desperately seeking external validation.
Performing for approval, yeah. When you move slowly and comfortably, you hold up a mirror to their insecurities.
You are showing them, without saying a word, that you do not need their approval to know your own worth.
And that invisible force field of self-respect is magnetic. People are drawn to it because they want to feel that secure themselves.
So if we pull all of this together, what does this actually mean for you tomorrow? It means you have to stop waiting until you feel ready.
The perfect moment where you suddenly wake up feeling totally fearless and articulate, it does not exist.
It really doesn't. Action creates confidence, not the other way around.
Every time you speak up, even when your heart is pounding and your voice is shaking,
Every time you keep a small morning promise to yourself.
you are physically rewiring your brain. You are building undeniable evidence that you are capable. Your voice matters. Your opinions matter.
I want to leave you with one final provocative thought to mull over today. What would happen tomorrow morning if you simply decided that your self-worth is no longer up for negotiation?
What if you just decided to stop apologizing for taking up space in the world?
Imagine how your posture would instantly change. Imagine how your voice would sound if you truly believed you belonged in the room.
You don't have to become someone else to be confident.
No, you just have to clear away the fearful habits and uncover the quiet power that is already sitting right there inside you.
If you enjoyed listening to us, comment where you're from and tell us if you found this helpful.